won't stop you. The pen is mightier than the sword, but please don't go overboard. Deal with all of them, but do it with caution. The spirits of my grandma comes to me in the form of a butterfly, and that's no lie. Spirit, 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 spirit. That's how you ready to do it. Spirits of my grandma, spirits of my grandma, spirits of my grandma, spirits of my grandma, spirits of my grandma. Oh, what the beautiful woman she was. I can hear her voice like an echo in the air. That's in the air, the streets of ground. No reason to our face. As she sat on the seat in front of the book, riding the fire.
I'm broadcasting on a few places. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube at King Simon Presents.
Spirits of my grandma. She says, "Hey, you have a job to do. You have a job. You have a job.
First, before I get into all of this, gotta big up my brother Menez, the drummer, the one that you're hearing right now. I say, oh. Peace be unto you all. Peace be unto you all. Peace be unto you all, family. Peace be unto everybody on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube at King Simon Presents. How you doing, family? What's up? What's going on? It's King Simon. And of course, the theme of this is, in Metaphysics, this sneak peek month reveals. It reveals what's to happen for next year for everybody, whether you are born under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or born under a rock. It's here to reveal. So right now we're in the sneak peek months, and I want to say enough respect to all of our ancestors and our divine self within, the great I am that exists within all of us. No one is void of the great I am. Whether you make it great or whether you make it less, that is totally up to you. The ball is always and has always been in your court, especially when you began to know yourself. That's why on those temple walls it says, know thyself. Know thyself. So please excuse me, I'm broadcasting on 3 different mediums. I'm on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel. If it seems a little bit unclear, I'm on my older computer on Facebook, but I'm on Instagram at King Simon Productions. I'm on YouTube at King Simon Presents, and I'm on Facebook at King Simon on Facebook. You may share this because I'm going to get into some very interesting but basic information. And like I like to tell people, numerology is not the is all or be all. It's the beginning, the key to guidance, just like astrology, just like tarot. But the true guidance is always within you, the person. Once you understand that where the true guidance starts, you can never be led astray. When you get out of that mindset and that indoctrination that our parents gave us, although we love our parents, although we love our grandparents and our great-grandparents, things that have been passed down from generation to generation, we have taken on cultures, we have taken on ways of life, we have taken on foreign ways of life, we have taken on religion that has clouded our internal and spiritual judgment to a certain degree. Because I remember as a child, I wasn't afraid of fire. I wasn't afraid of falling because I actually fell out of a window at 2 years old. I walked out of the window, so I wasn't afraid of falling, and my cousin caught me. And I only looked down and I seen him down there, and I said, you know what, let me just come on down. I'm coming down with you. I'm going to hang out with my cousins and my uncle there. And my cousin, I believe it was Tony or Uncle Curly that caught me right there at my grandmother's old house in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. And I was only 2 years old, and I was not afraid of it. And, you know, according to their science, according to the European scientists, they said there's only 2 known fears: the fear of falling and the fear of a loud sound. And even that you can overcome. I was telling somebody in my consultation one time, and I was doing a numerology consultation with them, and I said to myself, Europeans deal with bombs, gunshots on a regular because they want to overcome the fear of bombs and gunshots. Watch a movie like the Iron Man. The first Iron Man, when they blew up that mountain, when he was testing out the bombs, and they all celebrated and drank champagne after the bomb and all that kind of stuff. They have overcome this so-called known fear that they said that everybody is born with accordingly. Every other fear that you get into is what you've watched, is what you've been given through your mother or your father. It can be fear that comes from the womb. Maybe your mother was afraid of something. Maybe if somebody was abusing your mother. Maybe somebody threatened your mother. Maybe somebody threatened your father. Maybe somebody abused your father. And the semen of that man went into that woman of fear. And the ovum of that woman's womb also had fear in it. So we have to be careful of how we think and what we give unto our children due to fear. You know what I'm saying? They say that, but not necessarily. We're not really born with that stuff. It's not, they say we're born with it. That's what European science says. But no, we have to understand this false expectation appearing real and overcome those so-called fears. It's just like people that bungee jump or people that do skydiving. You can overcome the fear of falling. You can overcome the fear of a loud sound. That's why in the dojos, we used to have gunshots. We used to actually train with, like, simulated guns that sounded like real gunshots, and where we know how to move and when to move, or even if we had to take it away from them. Even if we have to take the gun away from them and the gun fire, we don't stiffen up. We don't get frightened because of the fear of the loud sound. Even in the dojo, again, that's why I tell people you must train martial arts, or train your children in martial arts. We used to do flying rollouts. I've seen children do some immaculate flying rollouts off of stages where Master Moses Powell or Soke Little John used to have us fly off a stage or get thrown off of a stage or whatever back in the day when we was younger, watching them, flying rollouts. Matter of fact, rollouts have saved my life because I knew how to fly and roll over a car or roll away from a car. I almost got killed in Canada by a car because I knew how to roll out and get away from the car when I slipped, and I rolled back and was able to roll out and do a falling rollout. So fear is, remember, we come from another universe. We come from another realm into this realm. So we're always coming in. We are the falling angels that come into this plane to experience this bull crap that we call the physical illusionary earth. We have to maintain. I'm not telling anybody to take their life and go out of their way to get out of here. No, we chose to come here and experience what we experience. If you have gone through any traumas, guess what? You might as well say you've chosen that. But what are you going to do with what you've chosen is the point. Are you going to learn from it and educate others and guide your own children or guide your own family to protect them from that? Someone in the family is chosen to come through that and do what they had to do. Traumas and dramas. We've chosen to do that. So we're in a sneak peek for everybody, especially in regards to numbers. We're in a sneak peek month. And this month and October is known as the sneak peek month because this is called the 9th month, according to them. But we know September, what it really adds up to, because October deals with 8, November deals with 9, and December deals with 10. But because we are now resonating with the energy of September being the 9th month, and October being the 10th month, or October being the 10th instead of number 8, because we know octo, which is 8. We are now resonating with that energy. We have made that energy even more prevalent and more stronger. So yes, September is what we call the 9th month, and anything that you add to the number 9 always come back to itself. anything that you add to the number 9 always come back to itself in return. So 9 plus 1 is 10. If you add the 1 plus the 0 equals 1 again. 9 plus 2 equals 11. 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2 again. So that 2 always re-shows. It's like the 0. 9 plus 0 is 9, and 1 plus 1 plus 0 is 1. It reflects, it shows the reflection of itself. So this is one of the reasons why 9 is called the sneak peek month, because it reflects on what's going to come for the next year, 2019, for yourself. Now, everybody's celebrating the 9/11 or the memorial of the 9/11 right now, or their frequency is all on that because they opened a vortex on that day, no doubt, which is a number 11, because 9 plus the 1 plus the 2 still equal 9 plus 1 plus 1 still equals 11, which deals with spirituality, a revelation, an opening, a revelatory energy, a visionary energy. So they have created something from 9/11/2001. They've created something, and they've opened up a vortex of that master number 11, because it happened on 9/11. And 9 plus 1 equals 11. And 11, those who study numerology knows it is a master number, and master number of revelation. When you read in my book, it talks about it. And my book is called Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. It gives basics, but it is good to study. And then I give you references in the back of my book, all the recommended reading. I always give a recommended reading in back of my book so you can go and study for yourself. It's all about study. But after you study, what do? Apply the information. Now, let me share a book with you that's very good. It's an old book, and it's called Your Days Are Numbered. Your Days Are Numbered. Very good book, written in 1931, I believe. This book is written in 1931, the original writing. Yes, 1931. And let me share some of the positive of the number 11. And because we're in a master number 11 day, which they call 9/11, which it is a master number 11. Let me share what the positive stuff of the number 11 is, and what's the negative and the destructive of the number 11. Now, in a number 11 day, it deals with intuition, it deals with revelation, it deals with invention, it deals with poetry, it deals with art, it deals with spirituality, it deals with fire, it deals with zeal, it deals with idealism, it deals with priestliness, it deals with evangelism, it deals with martyrdom. Martyrdom is in the book too. It deals with extortion or extortion. It deals with immortality or immateriality. Also, on the negative, it deals with aimlessness. It deals with shiftlessness. It deals with lack of understanding, fanaticism. It deals with self-superiority. It deals with it deals with also personal will and standards. Also, on the most destructive level of the number 11, it deals with debauchery. It deals with misery. It deals with denigration or degradation. It deals with dishonesty. It deals with deviltry, so-called deviltry. It deals with the attributes of a crook. So this day, when it took place, a lot of this was going on in the energy of what's going on, because you've heard, of course, everybody's heard the conspiracy theories that people didn't show up, a certain group of people didn't show up. That means they didn't show up at work to go to the world trade. If you look at the two world trades, it's shaped like a number 11, so that's definitely the 11 energy again coming at us in full effect. Understand that. So like I said, in the metaphysics world of numerology, this is called the sneak peek month of what to come. And when they opened up that vortex back in 2001, when the 9/11 event took place, when they opened up that vortex, that's what they did. Opened up a vortex for us to get scared of terrorists, pay attention to the Arabs, be afraid of the internal terrorists and the external terrorists, and try to put a lot of fear on us. Remember, family, fear once again means false. The acronym of fear is false expectations appearing real. False expectations appearing real. So don't get caught up in all the fear stuff. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Don't let fear take you. Real talk. Don't let fear take you. You understand? And And although there's many calendars out there, you got the Kemetic calendar, you got the Jewish calendar, you got the Ethiopian calendar. We that are living here under the energy of the United States are still going by the regular calendar dates that they have prescribed because this is what we've been raised with. Those who live in Ethiopia have raised with Ethiopian. Those who live in the Jewish country live with Jewish. Those who live in the Kemetic country, they do the Kemetic stuff. But at the end of the day, they still connect with this and have to connect with this. Even though I got a Kemetic calendar right here, I got a Kemetic calendar from the temple of the Dogon temple of the Earth Center. They still have to deal with where they're living because they're in another person's land. Until we create our own land and create our own calendars and do what we have to do in our own space, we can make that happen. No problem. But I'm dealing with what's happening in 2018 and going into 2019, because if you add the 2 plus the 0 plus the 1 and the 9, next year is the number 3 year. And in a number 3 year, let me go to a well-known numerologist, Indian guy from the Vedic numerology. Very good book to get. These are very good books. Any book I put out here, these are very good books to get in your library or get into your collection. And he says something about the number 3 year that we got coming up. 3 year that we got coming up. And since this is a sneak peek to what's to come in the 3 year, pay attention, because every number has a duality. Every number in numerology has a duality. Every number has a duality. There's a positive and a negative. There's a high frequency and a low frequency. You know, Sister Candace says she don't agree with those terms and conditions. You don't have to agree with those terms and conditions. That's totally up to you. It's where you're at. I deal with things from my perspective and my mathematics. Nobody has to agree with nothing I say. I'm like Brother Panic. I don't give a damn what you believe. I know by observation what has worked and because science, the only way you can recognize a science to be a science is by observation and putting it to work and applying it. I've seen through numerology how this stuff works and how it works in the resonant energy that we're living in called America. It is what it is. So dealing with the Indian Vedic numerology, he says the number 3 energy, or the number 3 year, is more knowledge and practical wisdom. Time to complete old projects, new friends, and new acquaintances. This is also an auspicious to bring financial gain, name, and honor. It makes one express oneself more clearly. It is especially meaningful for writers. This 2019 that we're going in, and since we're in a sneak peek of those years, that's the sneak peek of the 2019. Right now, we're in September going into October. These are called the sneak peek months. It opens up to what's to happen in the next year. But each one of you, because y'all have personal numbers, each one of you have a personal experience with the frequency and the numbers that's going to come to you. And how you use the numbers is going to be very important. So next year is going to be very good for writers and public speakers. Next year is going to be very good influence of Jupiter, can give them the frankness and fearlessness that may bring them trouble in the future. Not good for signing papers or contract by businessmen and those involved in any kind of lawsuit. Good for business and starting new ventures, are good for planning and completing jobs, a year for getting a job promotion, and a time to test friends before trusting them. This is a universal year that's coming in, the number 3 universal year. But remember, the 2 plus the 0 plus the 1 plus the 9 equals 12. Let's deal with the 12 first, because in the compound numbers of numerology, and I'm going to give you refer to your good book that you should study. It's an old book. This book is by Shiro. Lloyd Strayhorn is the one that showed me this book and introduced this book to me back in the day. Check this book out. If you can get it, order it. It's an old book. This guy is so deep that he's revered by the Indians or people of India because he was so deep. This guy named Shiro. Very good book, but the Indians had it from their perspective. Shiro to me is like Pythagoras. Shiro went to India, studied in different parts, and he even mentioned that he studied in different parts of the world and brought back and made and brought his form of numerology, or was able to use numerology for his benefit. He even predicted the death of a person up to the very month and day that that person was going to pass on, according to legend. This guy right here, to the very month and year and month, I believe, or day. I think it's month and year that person was going to pass on. This guy right here. Very good at numerology. Now, in his numerology books, he points out the compound number of 12, of which we're going into. We're going into a number 12 year, which slash the 3, because 1 + 2 = 3. But let's deal with the 12. You can share this video if you want, because it's all education. 12 is the symbolism of this number is suffering and anxiety of the mind. So if any of you is going into a 12 year, or you understand and you see what's going on next year about the 12 year that's coming up, it's going to deal with suffering and anxiety of the mind. It is also indicate as a sacrifice or a victim, and generally foreshadows one being sacrificed for the plans or intrigues of others. So next year is dealing with the plans, being careful of being the plans or the intrigue of other people. Don't be a sacrificial lamb for other people. Speak out. Verbalize what you mean, but make sure you verbalize it clear with your communication, because 3 is a communication number. So is the number 4, and so is the number 5. Those are communication number. It's just that the 4 number gets into weird communication. That's why a lot of people born under the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month sometimes is misunderstood, because communication is key. Because people born under the 3, 4, or 5 has to dot every I and cross every T when they communicate with people, and try to communicate on a higher octave of the number. You know, very important that you recognize these type of energy. You know, very important that you recognize. So this is a very good book to get. This is a very good book to get. And if you could find this book, I'm telling you, I found this and bought this for $2. If you could find this book, I had to rebind it just because it was withering away. And I found it at a Muslim community. One of my best numerologist books, I found it in a Muslim community. So again, we're in that sneak peek of the month. And anybody, this is what I want you to do. You want to find out what's going on next year for you? Add your month that you were born, add the day you were born, and then add next year that you were born. And whatever number it adds up to, whether to the final digit or it adds up to a double digit, because double digits have meaning. I do not like to negate the double digits. You'll find that most numerology will negate the double digits and go straight to the 1. They'll add it all the way up except the master numbers. They'll add it all the way up except the master numbers. But let me tell you, every compound number or every composite number that you see, whether it's the 11, the 12, the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, all the way up to 99, has a meaning in numerology. And you need to understand the meaning of the numerology of it, so you could, at least it could help you to navigate. Like I said, I tell people in my consultations that numerology is just a GPS. It's just a guiding system to help guide you to be a better person, so you could understand your negative and your positive and learn to strengthen your strengths and manage your weaknesses. Because we all have strengths and weaknesses. It's all right. We all have strength. We're in this realm. This in the physical realm. We come in this realm to eventually pass on or transition into the next realm. It is what we came here to learn the lessons and do what we got to do. We came through our parents for the lesson. It's all right. Have fun doing the lesson, but make sure you don't get caught up in too much of the lessons and get put down or destroy yourself or let people kill you or hurt you because you learned in the lesson. And maybe if you die, or maybe if you decided to take your own life or whatever, maybe that's the lesson you have to do, and then come back here and do it again. Some of us are not coming back here. Some people don't want to come back to this frequency or this planet or this realm again. I definitely don't want to come back, but more than likely I will, because I have to guide my children and guide my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. All right, I don't mind guiding. I don't mind coming through to do what I got to do, because I am definitely going to keep on doing the work, because that's my frequency. And remember, energy Energy is constant. It only changes form. Energy is constant, can't be destroyed. It can't be destroyed. So it's only constant, and it will only change form. So I'm good with that. I'm good if I have to do that. So when you add, now everybody do it. Everybody do this. And you can look it up, Google up. I'm not going to do any readings right now. If you want to do set up a full consultation reading for an hour, or you want to do a 35-minute consultation with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022 if you want to set up a consultation. I'm not going to do any readings right now, but I'm just breaking down what to look out for so you can pay attention to what you need to do, because each frequency has a low, each number is a frequency, is an energy, it's a sigil that has energy, it is a symbol that has energy. Each frequency has a high and a low, and sometimes it can maintain complacency. So that's why a lot of people stay complacent. Some people are comfortable where they're at. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Let me repeat that again. Comfort is the enemy of progress. I am not comfortable here in America. I'm not comfortable in this realm. I'm never comfortable in this realm. So I'm always in my mind or doing some spiritual work or learning. If you notice, you see the books behind here, Developing My Psychic Ability. Very good books, Developing Your Psychic Ability. This book was referred to me by Brother Panic. Very good book. Very good book. This was referred to me by Brother Panic. Astral Travel. By Mr. and Mrs. Frost, Gavin and Yvonne Frost. This one is called How to Be a Psychic. Very basic stuff, how to be a psychic or develop your psychic abilities. Very basic stuff. Good books to get. Also, this is a good book too. I haven't gotten into this book yet, but I'm studying Astrodynamic by Robert Bruce. Very good book, recommended by Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmett. Very good book to have in your library. And those who are into the sexual magic, matter of fact, also, this book is also good. Hidden Powers, How to Unleash the Power of the Subconscious Mind. Hidden Powers, How to Unleash the Power of the Subconscious Mind. Yes, understand your subconscious mind. I know Dr. Africa said, yo, we ain't got no subconscious like it's a subway, but we understand that it's an innate ability, something that's deeper in us. They may have, Sigmund Freud is the one, and those guys during that time is the one who named it subconscious. Okay. They were studying and researching, and they wanted a name for it. So they didn't they just didn't want to call it spirituality or intuitive. They call it the subconscious mind. If you Google up where subconscious started, you're going to find it started around Sigmund Freud. It was named by Sigmund Freud and his crew back in the day. So it's all right. It's cool, but let's use it. Let's use it. It's all right. So once you understand your subconscious mind and your conscious mind and how to use that and how to manipulate and work with it and how to use it, you become better off in how to mitigate and navigate through this realm. Believe me, as much as I teach disaster preparedness and all this, and this is what we call Disaster Preparedness Month. This is called Earth Month. It's the Earth Month, Earth Day Month, all that kind of stuff. Of course, due to the disaster that happened at the World Trade, it's called a Disaster Preparedness Month. But it's important to understand that I don't teach disaster from a fear mechanism. I don't use disaster as fear. I don't use, because eventually we live and we die. But if you do survive a disaster, I teach it from how Eitan taught me, who wrote the book Preparedness Now. I forgot where I put that book. He wrote the book Preparedness Now, Eitan Edwards. I teach it from his perspective because he used to teach us on remembering that if we do survive major disasters like World Trade or bombings and all that kind of stuff, or nuclear bombs, if we do survive it, we at least need to learn how to prepare for it and at least have the different mechanism to be able to handle the after effects of the disasters. That's it. So getting back into the sneak peek months, September, mostly towards the end of September, but September and October are what we call the sneak peek months of what's to go and what's to come for the next year. So if everybody decides to either do a session with me, remember I got 35 minutes and an hour session. I can do that. 35 minutes. I don't do write-ups, so don't expect a write-up. If you want to write up, you can go to people like, I think Lloyd do a basic write-up, Lloyd Strayhorn, but I know numerologist.com does a write-up, but they don't do what I do. They don't do what Lloyd do. We do numerologists from another perspective, especially me, myself. I find a lot of the traumas in your numbers, because if you notice in numerology, a lot of people like to give the positive. A lot of people want to give the positive of their numbers and give you the positive in all the heavenly bodies, when there's a duality. There's a trauma in everybody's number. Certain numbers, I can tell that you've been through either molestation or you're fondled or whatever. Certain numbers can tell me if you had daddy issues and mommy issues. And if it was not that, then you're looking for some man to be like your father, and that's just not right. Or I'm looking for some woman to be like my mother, and that's just not right to look for somebody like that. You're not going to find somebody like your mommy or your daddy. You can find people similar, but you're not going to find somebody like your mommy and daddy. So yes, numbers tell me that in my consultation. It tells me certain numbers attract molestation, fondling, or if the parents wasn't protective of them, then it would attract that. Certain numbers attract suicide or hurting themselves in some type of way. I just had an incident where one of my friends just killed himself. Sister's born January 13th. And she's in a number 7 year, because when you add the 1 plus the 5, because when you add the 1 plus the 4, because she's born on the 13th, and 1 plus 3 is 4, plus the year we're in, which is 11, which is a 2, equals and that equals the 1 plus 4 is 5, and then the 2 equals 7. She's in a 7 year. And if anybody did a numerology session with me or watch me on Brother Rich or Sonetta, 7 and 4 are the primary mental numbers, and they always have to protect their mind. Or they will either check themselves in a mental hospital, or they will go through depression on heavy level. And sometimes depression can come in the years and the month you're in. So some of you might be in a number 4 year, or a number 7 year, or a number, and 5 and 8s are also numbers that can suffer from depression. And sometimes the number 2, because 2 can be very emotional, or people connected to the number 2, or anything that adds up to the number 2, or anything that adds up to the number 4, anything that adds up to the number 7, or anything that adds up to the number 8, or anything that adds up to number 5. All those numbers, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, always have to protect their mind, because they can suffer from mental frustration, or they can suffer from being too lonely, or feel that they're lonely, or going through lonely experiences. Pay attention. Even if you have those numbers in your chart, like let's say you're born under the number 27, or let's say you're born under the number, let's say you're born on number 16. 1 and 6 equals 7, but that 1 and 6 still has a frequency that you are still working with. Everything intertwines and go in and out of your chart. That's why some of us go through good days and bad days, or happy days and sad days, or, some of us go through that. Even the most happiest person, the one with all the smiles, go through some type of problem. And like Michael Basin used to say, especially men, because men sometimes cry in the dark. Remember Michael Basin wrote that book, Men Cry in the Dark? Yes. Men cry in the dark. Some of us cry in the showers. And then when we come out the showers, water just got in the eyes, soap and all that, when they was really crying. They got to front it off or something like that. Some of us, I can admit, I cry in the dark. I used to cry in the dark. I thought I was going to kill myself 3 times. I've been down that suicide thought. I know people on here has been down it, but we don't have to take that leap if we get the proper help, the proper guidance. And some, maybe that's what they was meant to do. Take that leap and then come back here and do it again a different way. I don't believe in heaven or hell. I believe heaven and hell is right here on earth, and we make our own heaven and we make our own hell. Our own heaven, our own hell. Look at that homeless person on the street begging us for money and begging people for money. He will be in a hell to certain people. People will say he's in a hell. But like Khalid used to say, when you ain't got no money, you got to feed your kids. You hungry as hell, right? If it's so cold in your house and you ain't got no heat, you cold as hell. If it's too hot in your house and you got no air conditioner, it's hot as hell. If you think this society is going to change, you crazy as hell. Khalid was funny. I love Dr. Khalid. May he rest in peace. But it's so real. It's so real. So pay attention to the frequencies that you are living under. And the closest frequencies to you is your birthday. That is your core numbers. They're core numbers in your birthday and the name that your mama and your daddy gave you. I don't care if you want to change your name to be Umbatula, superstar, whatever you want to be. Any name that you take on after you've gotten your name from your mother and father, you add more frequency to it. You add more energy to it. And as a matter of fact, even your name is even important going into the sneak peeks of the month, because even the name can resonate or connect or be a disconnect from the new year that's coming in. Let's say three. Let's say your name added up to a number 3 and we was going into a number 8 year. That would probably be a more challenging number or challenging year for you. But challenges, like I say in my sessions, are not negative. Challenges are made to overcome. That's why I tell people there's no such thing as a bad or good number. There's no such thing as the best number or the worst number. No, there's no such thing as that. Everything has polarity. Everything has an energy. It's either high or low. They're all of the same energy. It's all of the same frequency. It's either high or low. It's how you handle it. It's how your mind handles how to accept that challenge when it comes, or that challenge when it presents itself. So I always try to do that in my consultation. So I give you the highs and lows of your numbers. I give you your neutral numbers, where neutral numbers can keep you complacent, or you can go either high, you can go either low. That's totally up to you. I give you all of that in the consultation. So if you want to do a consultation with me, my number is, please text me your full name and date of birth at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. Candace, what if you legally change your name and take off the name of your parents who gave you? It doesn't change, because they gave you that according to metaphysics, the new name you've taken on means something, but you added more numbers to it. Maybe it's to offset what was on your birth certificate, but still your birth certificate number means something, because your mother named it to you and your father gave it to you, and it resonates with you. You'll find that sometimes your birth certificate name has more of a positive resonant frequency than your name that you took on. Some people have taken on names and it has caused more drama than their original name. Some people have taken on names that it has helped them to be better than what they used to be with their old name. Big up to my brother, Dr. Ali Muhammad, in the mother flipping building. What's up, Gemini? That's my brother. He be dropping some stuff on there, man. Big up to you, sir. Always good to see you. Lisa, hey, Lisa, how you doing, girl? Always good to see my good nurse. See the night nurse. But matter of fact, I got Ali's book here too. Ali, I got your book here too. That's a good brother. He got some great books out there. Let me pull it out because it's right here in front of me. I gotta support you, my Gemini brother. I gotta support you. Here's one of Ali's good books. I got one of Ali Muhammad's good books. Very good. Aboriginal Diet of the Gods. Very good book. Big up to Ali Muhammad. He's listening and watching. Big up to you, sir. Gotta shout you out. Make sure you hit him up. That's right. Dr. Ali Muhammad doing his thing. That's his name. So hit him up on Facebook. What's up, brother? Thank you, sir, for all that you do. Always keep my brother's books around me. I study and read their stuff too, because we family, man, and we're supposed to study each other. People like him and Polite, they encourage me to write books. That's what people like him and Polite did. They encouraged me to write books. As a matter of fact, Polite, his beautiful wife, Aminette, and my aunt came and visited me 2 nights ago before they was heading out of town or wherever they was heading to. But I'm so happy that they're doing well and doing. They came to see me at my house, and big up to him all the time. Big up to Brother Polite, because he wrote. He did his writing, and I think his grandmother was the one that very encouraged him to write. He's born on the writer's numbers too, just like Ali Muhammad is born under some writer's numbers, being born on on the birthday that he's born under some writer's number. I think it's June 17th he's born, right? So, and Polite is born August the 10th. So they got some writer's number. They got a lot of, Ali is an old soul. He brings back a lot of old ancient stuff. And that's what the old soul energy does. Just like my sister Abundance Child, she born on the 17th. She brings back a lot of old stuff. And congratulate her. She just got initiated into the Ife system. So big up to Abundance Child all the time. Respect to my girl, Abundance Child. Anytime you in Delaware, if you're going to be in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, make sure you check out Abundance Child at the Drop Squad Kitchen. Make sure you check out my sister at Drop Squad Kitchen. Again, like I said, before I get off, if you want a consultation with me, a numerology consultation, 35 minutes to an hour, beautiful, please text me your full name and date of birth at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And like I said, it's just a GPS. It's just a guidance. I guide you to people to like Dr. Ali when he's doing his system of divination. I guide you to people like Karina Davis or Karina Dean. I guide you to people like Ra Aku. I guide you to people that are doing the work in the community. That if I see that you need extra stuff, Brother Panic, his wife Khadidra gave me an excellent Akashic record readings. Make sure you go to their website, occultlectures.com. I'm gonna take Panic's class for my birthday in February because I'm going into my number 6 year, my 6th personal year in numerology next year, and that deals with education, making decisions, balancing my mindset with the positive and negative, a higher and lower frequency, darkness and light. I got to balance my mind. So the best person to go to for that understanding, I think, is Brother Panic, because Brother Panic is like a protege of the one, the only Bobby Hemmett. And to me, Brother Panic is like my mom's. When I say like my mom, both of them are Taurus, the Bulls, and they just straight up with their stuff, man. And I love my mom dearly. So big up to them. So yeah, big up to of course, big up to Joel Benjamin, of course. Gotta big up my boy Joel Benjamin, and of course Audronite 77, big up to you. And big up to all the people. Big up to all the people for that came out to Brother Rich's baby shower with his beautiful wife Shayna. Yo, it was a very good turnout, and to find out that Brother Rich lost his mother and his father, and he don't have that many family members, it was good to see some of us from the conscious community come out there, or the awareness community come out there and support, show them some love. People like Gano Grills, Sri Master Gano Grills, I gotta say it right, Sri Master Gano Grills. People like Sonetta, people like, of course, brother KT, the Arch Degree, Red Pill and Blue Pill. Amun from Queens came out. Ram Omar came out. A lot of brothers that he considered brothers came out. And I know he sent out a lot of communicate to everybody else. So family, like I said, we're going into this number 3 year frequency. It's about expansion. It's about a growth, but expanding in your mind. But remember, the number 3 year that we're going into for 2019 is also dealing with being responsible with your tongue. Being responsible with your tongue and how you speak and how you communicate, because 3 is also the number of scandal, irresponsibility. As a matter of fact, there's a few people that always gets into scandal and they're born under number 3s. I mean, I love my brother Star from Star and Buck Wild, Star Chamber. He born May 3rd. He always into a scandal. He always into something. But that's my brother. He's always been the original hater. I got his book here too. Somewhere I got my library. You know, my library is thick. When you go to my library now, I got more library books and I got boxes of books. So I collect books. Well, I collect and I study and I research, especially. But if you're a writer, I'm telling all writers out there, write. Hey, big up Zion. What's up, Zion? Zion, you're born the same day as Jordan Peele. You're born the same day as Jordan Peele, the one who wrote the movie Get Out, and he just finished doing that movie, Black Klansman. You need to write too. As soon as you finish that military, write your book or write something. Express yourself, expand your mind, expressing what you got to do, because you've been through a lot yourself and you're going to still go through a lot. So just build. But if you are a writer, whatever you are, dancer, writer, poet, whatever, express and expand yourself in the new year, because next year is all about expansion and growth, not just in business, but of mind, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Also, staying focused on your health because we are under the 2000 frequency. 2000 deals with health and stomach. Remember, anything dealing with the 2 and 0 first before it comes into the 19, that deals with the stomach issues. It deals with digestion. So everything, if you notice, since we got heavily in the 2000, this whole vegan and eating right has really turned up in the 2000 because the 2 is the feminine energy, and it rules the intuition, and it rules the stomach area. Also paying attention to your gut feelings. Gut feelings. So that 2 and 0 also represents, in certain forms of numerology, it represents the awakening to new purpose, new ventures. We're also in that 2 frequency. So very important, family. So I'm getting ready to get on out of here. Again, I want to send condolences to all those people that did pass on in the world trade, because I knew one of the comedian named Dogface. When I was in the comedy world, Dogface was just making his way in there. Big up to Dogface and his whole family. He passed on. I think he was doing a show in there, or he used to work in there. And so Dogface, he was Dogface. They called him the comedian. He was respected, a highly respected comedian that was coming up in the game. Respect to him. And anybody that may have lost somebody in the world trade out there, enough respect to you. They have opened a vortex. They definitely has opened a vortex. And we need to use the vortex for our positive to download, because we're still in this new moon energy. Yes, we're still in that moon energy of full moon. It's new moon. I think it's the new moon and full moon energy. We're still in that full moon energy. Yes, use that energy or that moon energy to be the very best, to be open to our intuition, to be guided by intuition, doing a lot of cleansing. And remember, this is the number 9 month. 9 represents detoxing yourself, cleansing yourself. Prior to your birthday, everybody's birthday, prior to your birthday, prior to everyone's birthday, there's a 52-day critical cleansing cycle right before your birthday. So if you everybody go to your birthday, I'm gonna give y'all a little homework. Everybody go to your birthday, count backwards from your birthday. Like I'm born on the 1st, and I would go to 31st of January, 30th, and count backwards. And count it backwards 1 through 52, and wherever it lands, that's where the 52 critical cycle starts. If you want to find out more about the critical cycle, I ain't afraid to share books and information, because I got a bibliography in my books, and all my books are recommended reading. This is a good book. Lloyd Strayhorn shared this with me back in the day. It's called Self-Mastery and Faith with Cycles of Life. This is a Rosicrucian book. Rosie's Cross, a Rosicrucian book written by H. Spencer Lewis, who was a Rosicrucian. Very good book on the cycles. It was hard to get, so I got an old book. As you can see, other people have been writing in the book, so it was an old book that I ordered off of Amazon. And like I said, I ain't afraid to share information, to share knowledge, because I want y'all to understand and study for yourself. People that take my classes, you're more than welcome to take my class, because my class get even more deep and interesting about numerology, because I get into the symbols, the sigils. I get into the Kabbalah symbols and sigils. I study that. As I get into Chinese numerology, sometimes I get into the Arabic numerology, Abjad. I get into different forms of numerology to show how it all works together, because I believe in doing numerology from a holistic perspective, not just Pythagorean, not just Chaldean. I go to the Nigerian one. The Nigerian has 1 through 0, and the Nigerian numerology was used for dreams only. It's a good book to get on that, just to find the basics on that. Where's that book? Here it is. It's a good book to get on it. This is written by a Nigerian author, Ife Maje. The Oracle of Dreams. Very good book to get, by Ife Maje. The Oracle of Dreams. He shows you the numerology chart for the Nigerians that was passed down from his family from generation to generation from the Lagos, Nigeria. In Lagos, Nigeria. So big up to him all the time out here. He's located here in America also. So very good to study the basics of numerology to help guide you, to help you understand your own children. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my son the other day, my youngest son at 12. He's born February 7th, and I had to break down his number. And I told him if he don't stay on the positive path, he's going to end up doing something crazy, because I notice everybody, the majority of the men that's been under the number 7 in my family has been to prison and has gone through the daddy, father, issues, daddy, mommy issues, and all that kind of craziness. That's why I try not to deal with that with my children. I have to mend a lot of stuff because it's all about breaking cycles. Because I'm born with a life path of the number 8, which is a karmic number. It rules by the Saturn. So I have to pay attention to that type of karma and make sure they understand and tell them the truth, nothing but the truth. Only one of my daughters is not talking to me, and I understand. I understood that even when she was born. I understood what was happening. So I'm waiting. I'm still alive. I'm here for her right now. And even if I do pass on before she talks to me, guess what? I will come to her in her dreams and break it down. Or one of my sons will do it, because me and Prince and Shy and all of them understand that to a whole nother level also. You know what I'm saying? So big up to Prince Imagine, one of my sons. Big up to Shia. Big up to Jalil. Big up to Kalfani. Big up to Tariq. Big up to Jordan. Big up to Brianna. Big up to Ashley. Big up to all 9 of my children. Yasira. Big up to all of them. I love them so dearly. And why I write is because it's all about leaving generational legacy. Write your books and leave the generational legacy and wealth. One thing about universal knowledge, it will never go out of style. Remember that. One thing about universal knowledge, like numerology, tarot, card decks, all that stuff, if you write, it never goes out of style because it's universal. And we got to pay attention to universal. Again, I want to say condolences to the family of Kadeen Leslie, a dear friend of mine who was born January 13th, the same day as one of my martial arts teachers who passed on years ago, named Moses Powell. Kadeen took her life. Nobody knew what she was going through, how she was going through, but that number 13, that number 4 energy, if y'all don't protect your mind, number 4s, things happen. Y'all need to stay on top of your mind, stay motivated, get some help. I got some, if you are going through those type of suicidal thoughts and all that, consult people like myself and I will guide you to people that can help you. Whether it's a suicide hotline, whether it's my friend Natasha Dazoni, she's also a mental health therapist. Whether it's people like Malika Ali, that's also deals with that, and various other people. Dr. Africa deals with that. Many people in our holistic community deals with mental health. All you need is the help and the guidance. After you get that, it's up to you what you do, but always find reasons to live. There's always a reason why I live. I'm telling you, you're looking at a person that also almost took my life 3 times. One at 8 years old, which is one of my challenge numbers. The other one in 1993 or 1994 in a nightclub, which I was also going to one of my challenge years. And then another time, I almost took out my whole family and myself. But thanks to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's message in my head, he says, think 5 times before you do. I put down the weapon that I had and decided to leave that woman at that time and say, you know what? I'm not going to. And from there, I've never thought about doing it again. Really, that came before the nightclub. Actually, that came before the nightclub. After the nightclub incident, I never thought about doing it again. Never thought about taking my life ever again because I know I had some work to do because my dreams and my visions told me. And one thing before I leave, pay attention to your dreams and your visions in this year, but in these 2000 years, 2019, 20s, all that, pay attention to your visions and learn to write down those visions and those dreams, whether daydream and night dream and all that, because we're in the frequency of those intuitive energies. Write them down because it's telling you something. One of my dreams or one of my visions, I was being taken out to another nebula or planet. I know I was going through Orion and all kinds of stuff. And I did not want to come back. I knew I was supposed to pass on that night, but I guess I wasn't because my spirit guide said to me in my right ear, it's not time for you to go yet, King. It's not time for you to go yet. That's the real deal. I started crying in my dream after I woke come out of the dream because I really wanted to go. Y'all would have heard about King Simon dying in his sleep because I would have left. Tears are coming to my eyes because I seen where I was going. That's why I'm not afraid of death no more. I seen where I was going. And it was beautiful. And I wanted to go. But it said, my spirit guide said, do not. My spirit guide said, it's not time for you to go yet, brother. It's not time for you to go, and pulled me back like a rubber band coming back, snapped me right back. And I was like, and I started crying. And I said, man, I said, all right, no problem. I got work to do. Every one of you got work to do. Every one of you got work to do. In your own family, amongst your friends, amongst the people you need to heal with. Forgiveness is the highest form of healing. You may not forget what somebody has done to you, but forgiveness helps to dissolve it. Forgiveness helps you to dissolve certain things so you can move on, to let go and let the creator or let your ancestors guide you. Let go and let the creator or the ancestors guide you. Be honest with yourself. You understand? And on that note, let me promote what I got promoted. We just confirmed the venue. Y'all need to be there. This is my 23rd anniversary, 23rd celebration and promotion and production in association with Per Unk Consultation. You can go to kingsimon.eventbrite.com, buy one ticket online or via PayPal, and you bring somebody for free. Everybody, only online, this is available. You buy one ticket online and you bring somebody for free. The online tickets are now $30. You get to see Runoko Rashidi, Professor James Smalls, and Professor Jeffries. And I'm trying to bring in a special invited Queen Mother. I want to make sure I bring some female energy, and I'm going to bring one of the Queen Mothers or one of the sisters in to speak and open up. But these three giants in our ancient African spiritual systems are going to be in the building on November the 11th. November the 11th. Come on out, family. Buy one ticket. Bring somebody for free. Bring somebody for free. And young people are always free at my seminars. If you're 17 years and younger, they're absolutely free anyway. So bring the young people. My batteries are running out. This is what they're saying. Let me plug in real quick before. So I want to finish this off right. I don't want to, in one of my computers in the, yes. So I got it. Great. Again, this is coming up. If you want to vend, I only got limited vending space at St. Francis College. We just confirmed the venue. St. Francis College is located at 182 Remsen Street between Court Street and I forgot the other place, but it's at Court Street, downtown Brooklyn. Please come on down. Come on down. Celebrate my 23rd celebration in promotion and production. I started off professionally at SOBs. I've really been doing this for over 30 years, but I started off professionally at SOBs 23 years ago. But I'm going to be doing this lecture, bringing all of it. I know Runoko Rashidi is going to be doing a PowerPoint, but Professor Smalls and Professor Jeffries are just going to go in for an hour and a half to 2 hours each. Everybody got their ample amount of time, and then I will pull the panel together, and then we're going to sit down and ask questions to the elders and how we need to move forward in this 21st century, going beyond in this Aquarian age. So if you can make it, please. If you want to vend, I got limited space vendors, 347-496-1022. Text me. I already got my food vendor, so don't text me for food, but I only have a limit. I think I only have 10 to 11 spaces because I'm only using the big cascading hall that is open, that has the theater space. And then I have the hallway and I have the long hallway because there's going to be another event in the second room. So I got to make sure I have a certain amount of vendors. I can't have the 25 like I usually have. I got to have at least 11, probably 15 I could hold in there. If I put all the teachers that are going to be teaching tables inside amongst them where y'all can just go and vend with them right inside there at the stage, then I can hold some more. But definitely 11 vendors is all I can have. $80 with your own table and $90 if I have to provide a table. But food vendors, they got a special charge. So I already got a food vendor ready for it. So I love y'all. I respect y'all. YouTube, I'm out of here. Remember, share this, subscribe to my YouTube. That's King Simon Presents. That's King Simon Presents on YouTube. Instagram, King Simon Production on Instagram. I'm out of here. I'm getting ready to get out of here. And Facebook, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I love y'all. Share this. Show y'all enough respect. Remember, salute to everybody out there. Respect you, understand you, and remember, it's all about balance. Understand yourself from the dark and the light side and balance it out and be the divine you that you're supposed to be. Thank you very much. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. YouTube, I'm going to sign out of you first. end the stream first. Bang. There you go. And